Welcome back to the 2022 Winter Whackaround. We're here for the back nine. Of course, we did mix up the lead card based on scores heading into the back nine. I'm Chris DeMarco here with Dan Schifrin at Allaire State Park. Now, Dan, if you're on this lead card, what are you thinking going into the back nine?
Allaire's a pretty technical, shorter course in the woods. If it were me, I would be looking to disc down on most of the shots, just hit fairways, and make the 25 to 30 footers when they count.
Definitely. It's going to be tough out there today, and it is the first major of the year. Let's take a look at the remainder of the schedule here. And of course, we'll be distributing points based on our finishes here today. Let's see how Matt Cultrera is feeling out there.
So this course, super technical, really difficult, playing really hard. Was able to get 2 lead card, but it was kind of a roller coaster of a round. Some really big birdie putts, some mental mistakes for bogey, so trying to clean it up on the second half.
All right, hole 10 is a 454-foot par 4 here at Allaire State Park. Very technical hole here. You kind of do have 2 options off the front of the tee, either the left or right side. Very long tunnel shot here. The hole does open up as you come down it, so this really is a true 2-shot hole. Probably want to go with something very conservative off the tee. And then the real challenge here, as this hooks up to the left, is the elevation. Bit of a low ceiling, so it is hard to get all the way there on your second shot. And Dan, this is one of those holes I have to imagine pros playing this, thinking, okay, 454, par 4, super easy. But then they step on the tee and they're like, oh, this isn't a real gap. This is such a poke and hope. And then they start complaining. What are your thoughts on that?
I actually really appreciate the split fairway off the tee. It kind of makes players make a decision right off the bat. And like you said, I think going a little bit more conservative will put you in great position to attack the approach shot to the green. Here we got Austin on the tee.
Great to see Austin staying on lead card, stepping into the back nine. This is a bit of a weird tradition we have at these events because it's a one-round tournament. We do separate the cards based on score after the front nine, so everybody kind of waits on the 10th tee. Amico also defending his spot, and of course we got Scott DeMarco. Didn't even really say anything. It's just such a standard fare at these events.
He's a staple now.
Matt Cultrera. This is his first time playing on camera, first VFDGA event as well. We're going to be seeing a lot of him this year. He's also in the Valley Forge Disc Golf League.
Matt's got a very powerful forehand, a lot of nice touch with the turnover as well.
Yeah, I'm very excited to commentate on his play right now, actually. He's got a very interesting game.
Austin's got a little bit of a scramble here on his second. Really clean forehand. Right side fairway, he should have an up and down from there.
Very nice shape to that shot from Travis Amico. He had a lot to get left there, but just swung it out a bit too wide. Cultrera's kind of off in the rough here.
Yeah, Matt's forehand went a little more left than he wanted off the tee.
That's the second.
Not the result he was looking for.
It's all love, Matt. Love that. Scott going with some kind of crazy angle. I don't think Roeder had a chance to catch that. That was off the left side. Wasn't that through the kind of a back door there?
Yeah, he kind of got a little skinny there and found his way back to the fairway.
Austin really seeing just how good that last shot was. Saw how thick it was for everybody else. He's out here in the open clearing. He is kind of pinched off with that tree, though.
Looks like he's opting for the open stance forehand. It's a lot more difficult to draw power from the legs with the stance for the forehand. Oh, and it looks like he does beautifully. Puts it right underneath the basket there.
That's an incredible stroke from Austin Barron.
Absolutely.
Dan, we got a lot of events coming up. The highlight replay budget on this back nine was very low. Really nice shot from Austin, though. Scott with kind of a long look, but I don't expect him to try to do too much here. We got a field of about 12 to 16 players at this kind of event, and there's not too much pressure behind Scott and Austin. So I expect them to play relatively conservative through this very thick technical back nine.
Yeah, first hole of the back nine, too. No need to push the issue. Just kind of lay up, take your medicine.
It really does feel like a round of its own. You know, we did the same thing at the Winter at Valley Forge. Good run from Travis Amico, but just low left. Not enough conviction. Might have been because he was kind of stuck in some bramble there.
Yeah. Matt taps out his bogey. Nice, good tap out from Scott. Really taking his time, making sure he gets his full routine in.
Yeah, he kind of changed his form a little bit with that hand on his belly there.
I actually noticed I think he does that in the colder weather when he has more baggy clothing on, because that's right where he pulls his putt into.
Yes.
So he has to kind of tuck it in a little bit.
That's so fascinating. Hole 11, par 3, 260 feet. Relatively straight tunnel shot. You do have quite a bit of downhill nature to this hole, so you can kind of just pop one up, let it ride dead straight if you can. Really no sense in trying to hook this one up at the end, because if you do get it dead straight, you've only got about a 10-15 foot look to go. But not easy as it looks on this one.
Scott taking the wide route.
Yeah, I think he kind of struggles on some of these slower disc speed shots. You saw him go for a very full reach back there. There's not many players that can do that with the putter. Guys like Anthony Burrell that commit fully to every shot but can still control their speed. But you do see him going for more touchy looks from time to time.
Austin going for the straight gap there, just pulling it a little off to the right.
Yeah, just a bit wide right. And this is a shot that Amico has in his bag for sure. Very good angle control from him with the slower discs.
Just a little inside there.
Cultrera having a good time. And we're seeing
he is lining
funky.
up the forehand roller. I saw that. Wow.
So funky.
I love that. A little deep of the pin, but
he's
looks
got
to be a putt.
There.
Yeah.
Austin getting down on a knee. Very technical player. We say it a lot. He has almost every single option in his bag. Patent pending, thumbers, sidearms.
A bit unfortunate there on the ground play, but that was a beautifully shaped shot.
What, did he hit a stump there?
It looks that way.
Tough break. Amico.
Oh, and Tommy.
Tommy, 2 shots and he's on the green. That flare skip at the end, Dan, looked like he might have gotten even a little bit more action if it weren't for that tree.
Scott chipping up to the green. Hopefully he'll have a straddle out from behind those trees. And Matt, a look for his birdie.
Interesting to see him going down on a knee here.
Wow, I thought he cashed that for a second. That was a great looking shot.
Yeah, really nice run. Matt's one of those guys that comes from an ultimate background, so he can really get pretty crazy around the basket with some of those trick shots, little throw-ins from short range.
Austin's definitely going to want that putt back, but good cleanup for the 4.
Yeah, real nice confidence builder on that comeback. Displaying some serious mental prowess there, Austin is.
And Scott opts to split the trees and doinks it on the tray. The reaction kind of says it all there.
He just wasn't a human being on that play. Hole 12. Shit, I don't know the graphic. Okay. Hole 12, par 3, 312 feet. Multiple different options here, but really the inside line is the most ideal. Very covered green, which is a real big challenge because of how tight it is off the tee as well. And it is uphill, so it's really challenging to get a look I like to go with some kind of hyzer flip that kind of pops up still on hyzer. But this one is way more uphill than it seems, Dan. So really just very challenging hole.
That one took a tree down.
Matt pulling the backhand a little off right.
Lefty's not impressed.
A little inside from Scott there.
Alston going big. Starting off from the back of the tee.
All right, flipping something up through the inside there.
Beautiful stroke from Alston Barron. So much aggression there as well. I think I'd love to think that he saw Scott kind of kick off to the side and was like, you know what, I'm going for this.
Yeah. You can see a bit more of that elevation from the catch cam angle. It's really deceivingly uphill.
Yeah, this is such a tricky hole. And that outside wide right lane, best case scenario, you're getting to like 50-40. Cultrera goes for another forehand roller, but his luck ran out.
I'm falling out of trees. They're trying to take him down.
All right, let's see what we can do here.
Yeah.
Travis Amico still has quite a long way to go. About 240 to the pin from here. So crowded, and he just gets caught right up in the middle. Couldn't decide which side he wanted to go to, I think.
Yeah, I like the steep hyzer angle, but just kind of chose the center of the two gaps. Matt struggling a little bit here on hole 12.
We will be seeing a lot more of Cultrera. It seems not only in this round, based on how many throws he's taking, but also in the Valley Forge Disc Golf League coming up. He's on my team, the Thunder Bay Waves. How about that ground play from Scott? Dan, your GM in the VFDGA on the Rock City Royals.
Yep, shout out to the Rock City Royals. Future 2022 champions.
He got right around that big tree on the Anheuser line, but got caught up on a little bit of bramble around the green. Cultrera opts for the jump putt from super far range. I was just saying this the other day, Dan. We see that a lot more lately, I feel.
Yeah,
There's not many guys that are choosing to go like standstill backhand from 100 feet anymore.
it's true. Matt in particular has got a really spinny putt, so he can put a lot of pace and keep it on a straight line for quite a bit.
Amico really caught up on some logs here. This is a very, I don't want to say rough course, Dan, but there's just a lot of obstacles.
It's for how
on these greens.
For how short the holes are, they're very tight, very technical, and the greens are more often than not incredibly guarded, as we can see here.
Kind of makes me think, I wish I had a chance to play Stafford Woods more. I think that's like, in my eyes, the most signature part of that course is that it's just so dedicated to disc golf that the fairways are heavily wooded, but are still open and really true.
Right, just a bit low from Scott there. It was a good effort. And nice cleanup from Matt.
He holds on with the double bogey. Top 8 players will be getting tour points for the VFDGA Major, and then the top 8 overall throughout the year will qualify to compete at the end of the year. Rough triple from Travis Amico there.
Rough hole for the card in general.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know how the field played exactly, but it's a very hard hole. Hole 13, par 3, 228 feet. This one's a little bit more straightforward. Downhill tunnel shot, probably going with some kind of putter or mid-range that stays straight. And this is one of the few holes that actually does kind of have a nice open green behind. Apart from that one bush, you can get yourself a nice look. Just really need to get down there.
I'm going to be a little greedy here and kind of hope for a few ace runs from these guys. These downhill sub 250 footers are really fun to run. Wow. AB giving it a run as I was saying.
Giving Rotor a run.
Love that.
And he's back to work. Very impressive job. Almost got clipped there.
Scott going with the forehand here. He really likes to shoot forehand on these tighter gaps to keep his eyes on the gap.
Yeah,
He
I feel
gets
like
outside
this
the
shapes
circle.
up better for the backhand, but you can't argue with the ability to do that forehand.
Yeah, if you've got that flip up forehand play, definitely viable. Wow, and Matt going backhand. Very nearly sneaking through there, just getting a little caught up.
You know, this is probably the least played course that we've ever used in a VFDGA major, Dan. How do you think that's affecting what it takes to win out there?
I actually kind of like the idea of a course like this, kind of taking distance out of the equation and kind of, it's a bit more of an equalizer for the field. That being said, it is very different from, you know, the types of courses we usually play, like Tecumseh, Warwick. And it's showing to be a bit of a challenge for our lead card here.
Still a tester from that range.
Good stop by
Scott
Scott.
looking to stay with Alston.
Good bid, just a little left.
It's also the beginning of the season here too. That's something we have to consider. You
Yeah,
know, this is our winter event. This took place on March, I believe, 21st, maybe even a little bit before that, a week before
I
that.
believe it was a week before that, yeah. Still pretty early in the season. Not quite as warm as we would like it to be yet, so...
That's a
Excellent
good putt.
Excellent putt by Matt. Lefty.
Alston from inside a bush.
Ooh, and Austin really likes that low pop from his putt, so this is going to be a bit of a challenge. Great cleanup.
Expertly
Nice
stated,
hit,
Dan. He
kid.
still manages to get enough arc to get over the basket there.
Kid.
Climbs himself out for a birdie,
saying
and
that
that's going to be
hit?
2 strokes on Scott. These events are a bit more casual.
Good cleanup from Scott.
Well, Scott did get his par. I'm sorry. I underestimated how far he got off the tee there. Hole 14, par 3, 262 feet. Right to left shot here. This one is one where you could see an ace run. It is very possible to get all the way there. Kind of a bit of a low ceiling towards the tail end of the flight, but that doesn't really affect the disc much. It's mostly about getting around that turn clean.
That's it. That's a nice shot.
Ooh, just a bit wide from Austin there, but he's got to look at the birdie too.
Okay.
Yeah, you just YOLO through the gas.
Scott deciding between 2 discs here. Looks like he's considering that left side.
Human being test.
Wow, this is a spicy line. Hey, still
That
hits
was a
the
far
fairway.
kick. Yeah, he'll be able to scramble from there.
Basket. Yeah.
Austin mentioned that locals do take that route, so I think it is a common thing. Cultrera opting with the more traditional backhand line, but just
you didn't
a
follow
bit too
me.
inside.
Yeah. I'm not too familiar with Matt's stroke yet, but that did look a wee bit rushed in my eyes.
Yeah, he's just got a lot of lateral movement. You know, I think he just started playing the game a year or two ago. He's one of those ultimate guys, and I think he still plays ultimate. So it's really hard to get rid of that lateral movement. You need it to get around defenders.
Yeah, and that was a great shot from Travis.
Truly. Scott going with one of his new AVR X3s here. He just put this one in the bag. Beautiful disc.
Finally, he's got an AVR X3 with the stability he needs.
Yeah, the other two we had were at least 2-3 years old, I think from when we started playing. Cultrera hasn't really been able to get anything on the basket from this range. We've seen him from here quite a bit for birdie, but just very tough fairways to get those clean looks at the two.
Should be a routine par from there.
Austin with a long look, see if he can continue that momentum from 13.
Commentator's curse. I called it routine.
Ouch. Cultrera is definitely struggling. I do think that part of it has to be playing on camera for the first time. He is a solid player. But his vibes are so great. He's still keeping the vibes high.
It's one of the things I appreciate most about Matt, regardless of the play. Just he's always smiling out there.
Hole 15, par 3, 289 feet. Another squirrely, kind of almost wiry hole. Very difficult to find a pure line here. But this is kind of a 2-option hole, left or right side. And this beautiful, almost elevated basket here kind of sits up on that embankment there. Amico looks to be going with the left side Anheuser.
Yeah, players are going to want to be careful approaching this tiered green. If they hit the rocks in the air, they could have a rollaway potential. What a beautiful green, though.
Yeah, this is a signature hole on this course. The commentary I did on the walkthrough was absolute garbage. Honestly, it's tough to remember this course. This happened so long ago, and it's just such a unique, very deep, woodsy course. But this is a signature hole. Beautiful throw from Austin Barron.
Opting for that right side gap. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I love split fairways. Make the player make a decision.
Yep. So interesting too, the sport of golf, how you have guys going backhand on either side, forehand on either side.
A little inside from Scott.
Good shape on that one, but 2 inside. Cultrera, he's a very difficult player to predict.
Yeah.
On that same note, a very creative player.
Really likes his force over angles. And that was a great shot from Matt. See that again. Shaping the left gap beautifully.
Using all of the airspace on that throw.
Scott nearly pokes all the way through the green there.
That's a shot we've seen him make many times before, but still challenging nonetheless. Amico. If he hits one of those trees there, he's looking at like an 80-foot uphill putt. So that was a really very nice throw from him.
Yeah.
He's looking to show a little bit of momentum here heading into the last few holes. Austin Barron from range.
This will be a great birdie to pick up here. Puts it up high.
Ooh, almost walks it in. Great effort from Austin.
That was a bit Barsby-esque in the hang time. Love that.
We love Barsby. Just with how often we mention him, it must be true.
Yeah, praise Barsby. Here we go, Matt.
Cultrera, a good run, just a little bit low. Very nice and committed.
Bit of a scary tap out for Scott here. But no problem.
Keeps it to a bogey. Stays within 3 of Austin, and we've got 3 holes left. It's going to be interesting to see who takes down the first major of the year here heading into the last 3 holes. The winner of this major will automatically qualify to the semifinals in the major championship. So kind of a big deal here. Hole 16, par 3, 274 feet. Relatively straightforward tunnel shot, low ceiling, a bit of a left hookup at the end. The challenge here is getting your disc obviously through this tunnel, but making sure that you don't hyzer out down this hill at the end. It can get very scrappy down there. Good vibes all day this year. First time we're doing the Winter Whackaround here at Allaire State Park.
A little too high from Travis there. I believe road is OB, so like you said, Chris, that right to left slope on the green is threatening players' discs to kind of drag them over to the OB there.
This is one of those signature Jersey Shore style holes. This ecosystem that we're seeing here, this environment, I don't know exactly what kind of trees these are or what causes this effect on the ground with this almost dirt-like look, but it's very common around the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, this kind of dry, hard pan.
Yes, it's probably the dryness. Oh my God. Oh, that's a nice little kick for Scott there at a crucial time as well. He'll take that all day.
Some very sweet tree love there.
Looks like road's not OB or path, whatever we want to call this.
Oh, my mistake.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that. Austin's looking to go back door. He didn't like it out of the hand, but he got all of it. I think it's just a bit short.
Poke through.
And Cultrera displaying his athleticism. Slow that one down, and I don't believe it was a footfall, which is very hard to do for that style throw.
No, yeah, that looked clean to me.
Amico kind of imitates. Both players with not a tap in, but reasonable looks.
Great putt from Austin.
Wow. Austin Barron with a beautiful scramble par. The level of confidence coming off of this kid's putt.
Even par on the back nine so far. Pretty clean scorecard.
Yeah, he's gained quite a few on Scott. Let's see if Scott can get one back here in a moment. Good par for Amico, but the birdie would have been really nice there. He would have still been pretty close to Austin. 3 behind with 2 on the last. The last 2 holes are pretty tricky. There's some OB involved, so we can see quite a bit of separation. Nice birdie from Scott. And Matt, staying within the realm of, you know, decent disc golf here. Hole 17, par 3, 178 feet. This is a beautifully constructed island hole. You can kind of see some of the wooden panels around the green there. And the basket sits on a very well elevated little mound.
Dude, these walls
constructed with
of, like,
some
bush make
really nice logs.
Beautiful footage.
Yeah, great.
And you've got the walls of bush. Just really, really nice scenery here, Dan. We mentioned it on the front 9. Shout out to the guys who designed this place.
Oh, go in the basket. Oh, that was a great shot from Scott. Scaring the chains a bit there.
Taking another look at this run. This one actually bounces off the trees.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
It's about 5-6 feet short.
That looked like the perfect line.
Austin with a quick rip. I think he's about 15-20 feet there. Amico going with his trusty yellow putter. Just flips that one up.
Gotcha. Got that in my notes.
Light little bit of turn.
Our players discussing how to properly play the hole.
Yes.
I think
See if
Travis
Cultrera can
demonstrated.
follow suit. That's another way to do it. Yes. That also works.
I love Matt's reactions.
Austin Barron with a clutch putt coming down the stretch to stay at -4.
Puts him at 1 down for the back 9. Looking really strong so far.
He had to straddle out to the side there. Puts a lot of pressure on Scott to stay within here.
Yeah.
See what he can do. Very nice. And we got Kyle O'Brien sitting at -1 in the clubhouse here. So barring any tragedies on 18.
Good job, boys. Nice dunk.
Great star frame from our card here.
Beautiful star frame. We need to get some beautiful star-themed graphics for that beautiful star frame.
Yeah.
Hole 18 is a 406-foot par 4. Difficult tunnel shot off the tee, and you do want to hook this one up quite a bit to the left. And in a moment, we'll see the hole does open up quite a bit here after you get about 100 feet, so you don't really need to go too aggressive off of the tee. Kind of just get yourself a look at this little hyzer line on the right side here, and you should have some kind of 15-20 foot look. It is challenging to stay clean on this one though, Dan.
Good vibes from the card all around.
So we got Scott 2 off the lead here. If Austin can just stay clean, get himself a nice par, he should be looking good. Scott unable to get a look for the eagle. This is such a great finishing hole because if Scott had gotten all that, he may have had a look for the eagle.
Yeah, eagle is very possible on this. And Austin just kind of needs to chip up 2 200-foot shots and should be tapping in for the win. Looks like Austin stretches that drive out a little past Scott. A little bit of gamesmanship there. Have Scott shoot first.
Scott congratulating Austin. More than likely we'll have a new VFDGA major champion. Austin has been quite clean all day. He doesn't have much to do yet. Travis Amico, he's been putting together some really good disc golf today, especially over the last 5. Just hasn't quite been able to get through some of the tighter parts of the course. I think he's a guy I would assume who probably benefits from being able to play a course a couple times. That's how most guys are.
Matt putting down another forehand roller, just gets a little caught up there in the trees on the left.
You give Matt a couple tries at that, he's definitely getting inside circle too. Rest of the field is at the clubhouse enjoying some sandwiches. We're going to be playing a scramble round later on in the day. It's VFDGA major tradition. Amico looks to have gotten kind of caught up on that right-hand side there. Wind's starting to pick up here, Dan.
Matt getting a little caught up in the ceiling there. Hopefully he'll have a look at it up and down.
Nice window. Get it! Oh.
Valiant effort.
We said it before, he's a very tricky, kind of flashy player, Matt is.
He's feeling the forehand touchies today. I can't really throw
Beautiful
it back.
shot from Scott there. Right in the bullseye.
Yeah, and it's going to be another second place for Scott DeMarco here in the VFDGA. That's a common theme for him. The field has gotten a little bit thicker over the years, but he's usually right around the top. Austin Barron giving it a beautiful run from range. He's had a confident putt all day. That allows you to be so much more aggressive.
Yeah, and that should be pretty routine for him, about 15, maybe 20 feet.
Amico, just a bit high. And he didn't have one left in the tank.
Honestly, he didn't really need it.
Cultrera, don't do that.
Disappointing for Matt, but still great to see him on lead card today.
Yeah, he, like we said, he brings such a great vibe. He's such a good part of this organization. We're always trying to build this out, add more people, just kind of expand the VFDGA culture. And you know, we had Willem Klein, Mike Scardino at this event, 2 great guys. Austin Barron's first time coming out to one of these. Really just so much fun. Getting to play scramble in between rounds as well.
Austin Barron, major champion.
Yeah, congratulations again to Austin. First VFDGA major, and he takes down the championship ahead of Scott DeMarco by 1 stroke. Really makes you wonder what Austin's capable of. Dan, what do you think of the play out there at Allaire?
Play was pretty solid in the front 9 there. Got pretty rocky in the back 9, in the first half of the back 9, but our players cleaned up, managed to finish out with a couple birdies, and Austin taking home the dub. Really well done.
Yeah, this course has some teeth, but at the end of the day, it was some pretty good disc golf, especially because it's early on in the season. The weather wasn't so great. Let's take a look at the overall standings for the VFDGA Major Championship, and then we're going to kick it over to Allaire State Park to get a final word from Austin Barron.